actually a couple weeks after I recorded my last video of using the L'Oreal Paris Elvive Dream Curls line for my wash day. And this video is going to be the styling portion. And I'm going to use the leave-in cream of the same line. Actually, I filmed a braid out video a couple weeks back, but I'm not feeling it. So today, we're just going to keep it simple with 2 braids for a little protective style. So if you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned. Okay, so I just washed my hair with the shampoo and conditioner and was letting it dry for about 30 minutes in this towel. So it should be about damp, which is what you want. You don't need your hair to be super soaking wet or dry, just like the sweet spot of it being damp. So I am going to clip the first 2 twists out of the way and start to go in with the leave-in conditioner on each section. Now for me, I only need a little bit of this leave-in per section, about this much, because it's pretty thick. So here we go. Now that you have the leave-in in your hair, you can go and seal with an oil or serum if you want, but I'm gonna save that step until the end. So now, try your best to get a perfect center part if you can. I have trouble parting my hair, especially since I have a widow's peak going on in the front, but just do your best. You can always clean up the part. Actually, I'm gonna go look in the mirror and do this part and come back. Okay, so once you have your part, just clip one side out of the way. And I had to use a duckbill clip in the front because, like I said, I have a widow's peak, so if I don't put that there, the front part of the part is gonna get messed up. So on this half, split the half in half. And we're just gonna work on the bottom section for now. So take your spray bottle and spray down that section. Just get it damp enough so that you can detangle a little bit before we go in with the gel. Now it's time to go in with the Eco Styler gel. Now my hair doesn't need a lot of the Eco Styler gel for it to lay down, so I'm just starting off with about this much. But use as much as your hair needs. I'm mainly just focusing on the roots to about here. And once I do the braids, I'm gonna add a little bit more gel. So then you can go in with a boar bristle brush and just brush the roots a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy. And then I'm gonna take my satin scrunchie and just tie it loosely just to keep it in place while I work on the other section. So for the top section, split that in half and do the same steps that I just did on the bottom. So water, brush it through, go in with some gel. I think I need a little bit more than that. Make sure to get some on the edges and brush it down. And then just add that to the section that we already did. And repeat the same exact steps for this last top section. So I'm gonna move this duckbill clip on the other side and get to work. And now that you have everything slicked down, you can go ahead in with the actual scrunchie that you're going to use. But for now, I'm just going to use this claw clip to keep it in place while I work on the other section, because I'm going to do my edges with the edge control all at once everything is slicked down. So time to do the other side. Okay, so now that you have everything pretty much slicked down, it's time to go in with the edge control. I'm pretty sure by now you've seen everyone and their mom do their edges, so I don't do anything super crazy. I just do a couple of swoops and call it a day, if that. I've been doing my edges since I've been natural, which was, I went natural in 2014, and sometimes I still get it wrong. I can never do my edges the same even if I redid them every day. So I'm just going with the flow. So I like to use this comb. I use the fine tooth side of it to do my edges. I know some people, they use a toothbrush or they have an actual edge brush, but use whatever works for you. So mainly, I'm just swooping my edges away from my face. I could never do all the little different designs that I've seen people do, or I'm afraid to do those where you see the edges that come all the way like down here on your forehead, because I'm like, I know I'm gonna break out with acne, so let me just keep the edges simple and swoop them away from my face so I don't have to deal with that. So this is good enough for me. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Okay, so once you get your edges the way that you like them, we're gonna go again in with the boar bristle brush and smooth everything down. And I'm gonna go in with my final scrunchie because my hair would never dry using this satin scrunchie. It feels secure but not too tight, but you can always loosen it up if it feels too tight. But this is pretty good for me. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side and come back to show how I do the braids. So now you should end up like this with like two little puff balls, which you can leave it like this, but we're going for braids today. So this is the time to put all of your finishing touches on the top before you lay it down with the scarf. So any areas that you see that are kind of like waving up or need a little bit more gel or edge control, do it. Put it on, it doesn't matter. That is what I am about to do. And you probably can't tell on camera, but I do get like little flyaways around the part. So before I lay down my hair with the scarf, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more gel. Really take your time to smooth your hair back. That is the key. And then for the tippy top, I'm gonna take a little bit of edge control and just lay it down on top. I'm actually gonna redo my edges on this side. It's not really laying down like I want, so I'm gonna come back with the scarf on and ready to do the braids. Actually, I am gonna use a little toothbrush. I got this Hello Kitty one from the Dollar Tree specifically for my edges. So I'm just gonna fix them up and then get into the braids. So I like to double knot my bandanas in the back, and so that the tail of the bandana won't be in the way, I'm gonna twist it up and clip it with one of these clips. Okay. And also I'm gonna twist the side that I'm not working on and clip it so that it can stay somewhat stretched until I get over to this side. So puff number one, just gonna wet it a little bit more so I can re-detangle. And take your time with detangling. You don't wanna snap, crackle, and pop all your hair off trying to rip the brush through. Just take your time. If you can't get through the tangles, add a little bit more water and leave-in, and that should help. So, that seems pretty detangled. And I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more leave-in, like this much. I probably could have used less than that, but this is what we're doing. So just run that down the length of your hair. Make sure to get those ends. And now I'm gonna go in with some of that serum, and I'm just gonna use like a pea-sized amount, if that, to seal in everything before I go in with the gel. And you can do this without gel, but it helps for the braids to stay neater longer, because my hair, the braids will start to get flyaways if I don't use just a little bit of gel. So I'm just going in with this much. Also run that down the whole length of the hair. And then braid. It's as simple as that. Instead of doing braid outs and twist outs, I've been just doing braid ins, just keeping the braids in and keeping it pushing, because none of my styles have been lasting in this Houston heat. So this is the only thing I can think of until I can actually go and get my hair done. And then I'm gonna go in with that same comb I used to do my edges and just comb through the ends, make sure there's no tangles, and then twirl it on up. And actually, I'm gonna put a rubber band on the end, so I'm gonna come back when I can find my rubber bands. I found my rubber bands, now I can't open the package. Okay. One rubber band. So yeah, just put it, not all the way at the end, of course, but just like right before you just started twisting the ends of your hair. You can twirl it again, and then just throw it to the back. You can use a bobby pin or the duckbill clip to use as like an anchor weight on your braids, because my braids, they like to end up like this, like the Wendy's girl. So I'll put a bobby pin like right before I put the rubber band and just let it hang down so that it can dry straight like that. So I'm about to do the other side, so yeah. And that is it. 2 simple little braids. This is good, especially if you don't know how to French braid or cornrow like me. Like, the scarf is my saving grace, because nobody really knows what's under here except you can just see the braids, especially when I let the tail down of this bandana. And once it dries, I kind of pull the scarf back a little bit so you can see the baby hairs, but you don't have to, you can just leave it like this. But super simple, 2 braid, easy protective style for natural hair. That's it, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. What type of protective styles do you do for this summer? Do you just go get your hair braided? Do you just do styles like this at home? Wash and goes, braid outs, twist outs? Let me know down in the comments. And see you next time. Bye.